guys went absolutely nuts for the video of my favourite games, where I done tapping on the TV as well, so I'm going to try to do more of that for you guys, seeing as you clearly like it. So yep, I honestly may have to do this video in like 2 parts, because I just have too many recommendations to fit in one video. So I may have to split this into like multiple videos if you guys like it. I also have these boards, which I thought I could tap on, so that you guys are also getting some like ASMR while I'm whispering. However, these Death Note and Attack on Titan specifically, I'm gonna try and not recommend a lot of like really popular already animes, and try and like recommend ones that maybe you wouldn't know about. However, I am gonna say, if you've not watched these, even if you don't think you like anime, you should try them at least once. I think the first anime I watched was Tokyo Ghoul. I think it was Tokyo Ghoul, and still a classic to this day. It gets worse for me as the seasons progress. The first season though is so good. But yeah, Attack on Titan is like definitely one of my favourite animes of all time. It's just too good. I've still not finished it though, because I want to do a full run through and like finish it in that run through, and I've just not brought myself to do that yet. I almost don't want to like accept that it's over. You know, I've been watching this since I was in high school, since I first started watching anime. I've been watching this. I also have a Studio Ghibli poster here. This Hell's Moving Castle. Love that movie. But I'm not gonna be recommending movies, anime movies. I'm gonna be recommending series in this video. So I'm not gonna be talking about the Studio Ghibli films. Again, if you've not watched them, go and watch them. And this is my favourite poster. This is my favourite poster of all of them. I love Ryuk. I love him. Okay, so I have notes on my iPad of some of the ones I wanted to mention, but the note got a bit long. It just kept adding and adding, and it got a bit much. So I don't know how many I'm gonna get through. Fucking Duolingo just went to swipe the notification away, and it stopped the recording. It took me on to Duolingo. Can't remember what I was saying. I was talking about the more mainstream ones, the more popular ones already, like Jujutsu Kaisen, Chainsaw Man, although they're fairly, newer in the popular scheme of things, but I still think they're pretty well known. Attack on Titan and Death Note, they're ones that I love and would highly recommend. I think they're also quite accessible for people who don't watch anime a lot. So that's maybe something you would be interested in trying out. Maybe that's one of the ones you should start with. But I am going to talk about some of the other ones that I think are really, really good. A lot of the animes I watch are really sad and emotional and will probably make you cry. So if that's not for you, I'm going to say this one is a sad one, so you can avoid it. But most of these are sad. So, or maybe I'm just a really emotional person who gets attached to things really easily. I don't know. That's for you to decide, I guess. So the first one I'm going to talk about is Terror and Resonance. I think it's also called Sankyou no Terror, but Terror and Resonance is so good. It's a short series. I think it's like 11 or 12 episodes, and I was recommended this by a friend when I was like in high school, and it was on Netflix at the time, and I was not prepared. I was not prepared for what I was getting myself into, but I still think about this anime organisation called Sphinx, and they start some sort of kind of uprising against the police in Japan, and the police basically have to try and figure out who these people are that are causing all this chaos. And the story evolves into this bigger picture that you would never ever have expected. And there's also another character that comes into it at the start, and she's like such a contrast to the two main characters, who are so like kind of unhinged and like almost devastated by the way their lives have kind of panned out, and it's just like consumed their lives into this bad thing that they're doing. But she's kind of annoying, but she's also a necessary character. I feel like it balances it out a bit. But yeah, you need to watch this show. It is so good. It's very emotional. I cried so bad. And I've rewatched this multiple times, and it just never gets old. It is very fast paced, it's very intriguing, very interesting. Each episode is going to have you kind of gripped, so can't recommend it enough, to be honest. So yeah, I feel like, dark, psychological, thriller, mystery kind of animes or shows even, this is probably quite up your street. Again, it's short, so you can watch it pretty quickly. But I wish I could rewatch this for the first time because it's just so good. The animation's really good as well. The soundtrack, so good. So that is the first one that I would recommend. So the next one I would highly recommend is another like psychological thriller, horror, kind of gory, weird anime. Death Parade. Now this anime is so good. Again, I think it's quite short, but basically, so this anime is basically set in like limbo, but limbo is a bar. So people arrive here after they've died, and they basically need to compete against another person to have their soul, like, I think it's reincarnated, but I can't remember, I've not watched this in a while. I think it's reincarnated, and then if not, you're basically just like forgotten about and you go to hell. I loved the kind of idea of this. I think it was done really well. I think it was really cool and really interesting to watch. It is, from what I remember, quite gory and very sad at some points. Very, very sad. But I like those things. So the main character, the like bartender who runs this kind of like limbo situation, I really liked him. He's quite like deadpan, and yeah, I just thought he was quite an interesting character to have. And you meet a lot of different characters throughout the show. From what I remember, maybe like one set of people each episode are up for this competition. There was a huge twist in this that I was not expecting. That, yeah, it was very good. It's a very good show, and I think this is maybe quite popular, at least from the people who have watched it. But I may be telling a fib there. I'll try and do one that's not so sad. So I don't think this is the best anime that's ever been made, but I love it, and I've been rewatching this since I was in high school. A lot of shows, if you watch me and you know that I just like to replay and rewatch stuff that I already like. I don't really watch. Like, it's nothing too deep, you know. Like, I don't sob my eyes out of this. I probably did maybe the first time I watched it at certain parts, but not anymore. I think it's funny at some points. It's got a lot of good companion characters, or like, well, main characters. So anyway, the start of this show, there's like a virus that goes around and kills so many people, but leaves children, people under a certain age, alive, and that's why you and his family survive. And then they become blood bags for these vampires that are taking over the rest of the humans that have survived. The main storyline is basically you wanting revenge against vampires because of the way he grew up and the way his family suffered, etc. And yeah, I just think it's good. I like a good fantasy anime, and this has a lot of action and a lot of good characters, and like development, which is good. So yeah. calls herself from 10 years in the future. Naho thinks it's a prank at first, but when the things written in the letters start to come true one by one. I assume there's more to this because it's got dot dot dot. She realizes that the letter is telling her events that will happen in her future. It tells her that she'll fall in love with Kakaru, a new student who transfers to her school, and that he'll die in the winter of his 17th year. After learning the regrets and wishes of the 26-year-old Naho following Kakaru's death, what can the 16-year-old Naho do? It's only got one season and it's 13 episodes. Let's see if it is free to watch. It is not. Are we surprised? Thirteen episodes. Attack on Titan, obviously another one that I love. Attack on Titan. Attack on Titan. So. I think that must be a mistake. If for some reason shows filming Alchemist Brotherhood on my home screen when I'm on Crunchyroll, but when I typed it up it wasn't coming up. Metal. Alchemist Brotherhood. And these are the main characters. Metal, Alchemist. Brotherhood. That's actually the picture that I have in the poster for Attack on Titan. Okay, I'm gonna end that video there. I hope you enjoyed my rambles, my screen